What's good, everybody? RJ Shellin here, back with another episode of Spartan Dogs. As you see on the screen here, I got my good brother Tony Lippett, aka Lip. What's good, my good partner?
What's the wizard?
You already know what we're doing here, so let's get right into it. Lions, first in the NFC North, 12-1. I believe this is probably the first time in Lions history that they have ever been 12-1. They went ahead and faced the Packers. They beat them 34-31. Jared Goff was 32 of 41 from the field. 3 throwing and 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. David Montgomery had 14 carries for 51 yards and 1 touchdown. J-Mo had 5 receptions for 80. Who else had some stats here? Sam Laporta had 5 receptions for 54 yards. Tim Patrick, a guy that you've highlighted multiple times on this podcast, had a wonderful game, kind of an unsung hero for them, doing what needs to be done for them to go ahead and if guys aren't going, he steps in and does what he needs to do. He had 6 receptions for 43 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs, 6 receptions as well for 30 yards and 1 touchdown, and also had 15 carries for 43 yards. Call it what you want to call it. This game's complete, or this team's complete, excuse me. Talk to me about your Lions.
Hey, man. Lions making things happen. Another big game. It was a Thursday night game. I damn near forgot what the hell happened going on a few days ago. But obviously, it's a good game. Another clean game by Jared Goff. Like you said, he was 32 for 41, 283, 3 touchdowns. He distributed the ball to all of his guys. Every time you see a stat sheet, I go to the wide receivers and I see how many guys touched the ball. They had 6 guys over 5 targets, and damn near every target they caught. You got 6 for 6, 5 for 5, 6 for 5, 7 for 6, 7 for 5, 8 for 5. That just shows you that the ball is being delivered on time, accurately, in stride. He's just making things happen. He's finding a way to find different guys, like you said. Tim Patrick has came along. That's not a guy that other teams are game planning for. You feel me? Like, they're not like, oh, we gotta know where he's at. You probably going to say, okay, we got to stop Brown first, and we got to stop Gibbs and Montgomery, then J-Mo, then Laporta. And not in that order, but I'm just saying those names are first.
Right.
They ain't planning for Tim Patrick. So in the red zone, he's able to execute. Obviously, we've seen him in the red zone catch 2 touchdowns because he's usually the one getting one-on-one with a number 3 corner or a number 2 corner or a safety, whatever it is. It's just matchups. Like, it's all about matchups, and Jared Goff is able to identify that and see that, okay, I'm gonna go over here. They're rolling their safety and their coverage over here to Brown, trying to figure out what Gibbs is doing in the backfield. Obviously, they went for it on 4th down 10 times like they always usually do. So they just played. The Lions played a good football. Now it got a little tricky at the end. I just started to remember it got a little tricky at the end when it was 4th down and I think it was like 4th and 2 or 4th and 1, and they already in field goal position with under a minute left in the game, and you go for it on 4th down where you can just kick the field goal. Stuff like that, I don't understand. I just feel like you just kick the field goal because if the Packers had stopped them early in the game on a 4th and 1 on a run,
Yep.
they stopped them in the backfield. So it's like things like that can happen, and when he went for it on that down, I didn't agree with it at all. I don't care if they made it because I think that's sending the wrong message a little bit. And I kind of peeped something. When they made the 1st down at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
They snapped the camera to Dan Campbell, and behind him is Ben Johnson, and he got a look on his face like he didn't like that. Because you putting him in a predicament where he like, bro, I'm not even thinking about having a call right here. I'm thinking about we in field goal position. We inside of the 20-yard line. It's 4th down. It's under a minute left. I don't have a call right here. That's why they lined up in I formation and just ran the ball. That was the safest call you can call. Boy, you seen when they do them other 4th downs, it ain't just no line up and run the ball. Shifting runs, it's usually a pass.
Right.
So right there, he like, bro, I got to be as safe as possible because I didn't anticipate us going for this 4th down right here. I know that's our identity, but I didn't anticipate that. And you can see he had like this kind of look on his face, like he ain't like that. I was like, I peeped it because what's the name? Dan Campbell was in it like this, but you see Ben Johnson behind him just looking like you can just tell like he ain't really like that call. And I feel the same way. I just feel like some gonna come back and bite you. It's gonna come back and bite you like it did last year. It's gonna come back and bite you a couple times. I understand, yeah, this is the identity, but it's like, okay, now let's have a new identity. Like, let's be more careful. Let's be more, calculated. Like some of the things he be doing, it don't seem like it be calculated. It just seems like it be all ego. Like it be all like, let's just do it. And like I said, Dan Campbell is my guy for sure, for sure. And I want to see him win. I don't want to see them lose on something like that, because that could have easily turned around where they don't get it.
Right.
And now you got 50-something seconds left, and I think the Packers had like a timeout or two at that point. Or they probably had one because they was probably stopping the clock at that time. So they probably had one. Even if they didn't have one, all I got to do is get in field goal range to kick the ball. I can do 2 plays and get to the 45, and now I'm kicking a 58-yard field goal indoors, no wind. You feel me?
Right.
And I make that. Now it's a tragedy. So it's like, it's just something to think about, man. Like I said, great win for the Lions. They swept the Packers. I don't think they've done that in a long time, right? Have they done that in a long time?
I think this
Did
is
they
the
do it
first
last
time.
year? They didn't do it last year.
No, this is, I think, the first time. I don't know like the numbers or history or whatever, but as I can recall, it's been
They've never done.
a very long time
Yeah,
since the Lions have done this. So I would give it
yeah.
probably 10 years, but it's still
Nah, hell, they got to be over 20 years. They ain't do that against Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre.
for real.
Bro, I'm from Detroit, bro. The Lions been terrible my whole life, bro. They couldn't beat nobody like that. They definitely ain't beaten one team in a division 2 times. That probably has never happened since pre-2000s, if that. This might be the first time, or it might be like one other time it happened. So that's an accomplishment as well. So shout out to them for executing that. The Lions did their thing, man. Keep it going. They got a big matchup this week, though, a real big matchup this week. I think this game is gonna be electric for sure.
No, let's go ahead and hop right into it. I'm definitely agreeing with you. The only thing that that I sit here and watching that game is like Dan Campbell is like, okay, like you make that call, you do this and that, but it's like now as a head coach and your coaching style, when you do get in the playoffs and do get towards when you have to make decisions, what if you did go ahead and go out there and the kicker did kick, he missed the kick? What if he, didn't do his tape, but you're already going ahead and you're confident in the group of the guys that you have? Granted, I'm right with you on, he didn't know what to run at the situation, but I think right now with the Lions that their O-line and guys that they have running the ball, that is just, it's just like how the Philadelphia Eagles do the quarterback sneak or whatever the hell they call it, and it's good every time.
Yeah.
I just feel that that's where the Lions are. Like they're just they're in a point where it's like we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna stay on the field because we know we can stay on the field, but we have the better talent than you guys do. It don't matter who we are, who we're playing. So
Yeah.
I really think I like that aggressive play. With me, I'm obviously not a Lions fan. People know where I stand, but I like that type of stuff. I like that. Like, all right, hey, it don't matter, bro. We're going for it. Like, you already know you're going for it, but hey, you look at it. If you're in that situation again from an offensive coordinator position, now you got to go ahead and just dial up everything 4th down. Like, what am I going to do every time on 4th down? Because if that's what you're going to hang your hat on, don't change who you are. Continue to be the team that you are, because that's what got you there. They got you to 12-1 doing that. Your team believes every single week that you can go ahead and that offense can stay on the field, score points. So that's only my little hiccup of it, because it's been big talk around, obviously, Twitter and NFL, like, oh, you should have won it. But, like, you don't know the opposite end of the kicker didn't make that field goal. Now you look at you missed the field goal, and now what happens? Maybe the Packers go ahead and down the field and maybe even score, maybe even get field goal overtime. So, me personally.
But he kicked the field goal anyway. But even if he missed the field goal, we're not going to be like, oh my God, he missed the field goal. He blew it. But if you miss the field, if you go for it on that 4th down and you don't even kick the field goal, now that's you blowing it. True. That would have been an ultimate fail right there. If they would have went for it on 4th down and didn't get it, and Jordan Love threw a ball or two, and now they on the opposite side, because they would have started. They was on like the 25-yard line, and they throw a pass or two, and they get 30 yards out of that, and they get a field goal position to kick the field goal with under a minute left. I feel like that's even worse. And that could, bro, you already know, like, it's this game, this locker room,
Right.
You don't want the players to get that taste in their mouth that they had last year because it only take one game. Like, this shit can turn back around. Like, you can't take this for granted. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this ain't gonna be here forever. Like,
Right.
you can't take this game for granted because just because you good this year don't mean you're gonna be good next year. Just because you good this game don't mean you're gonna be good next game. So, and okay, just because you got the locker room today don't mean you're gonna have the locker room tomorrow. And if they feel
That's
like
a
they putting
fact.
themselves in that position to win, and you take that away from them because of your pride and your ego, that ain't gonna sit well in the locker room. And if it start if it start going around the locker room, you already know how the vibe's gonna be, and it ain't gonna be good, bro. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the bigger picture. I understand the mindset and all of that. I'm with all that, but there's a time and there's not a time. So, but
That's
got the
real.
W.
No, that's real. But you did obviously hint on the Bills game, huge one. They faced them at 3:25 on Sunday. 10-3 Bills team. You know, this could definitely be a maybe Super Bowl preview, as you like to go ahead and say. But this is a big game for the Lions, especially at home again. Another great opponent. Talk to me about this and what they got to do to get this record to 13-1.
I think this definitely the game of the week. I think this game is going to be huge, especially coming off the game that Josh Allen had last week. Well, yeah, this past Sunday with 6 total touchdowns, 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. The first quarterback to do that in NFL history. Had a shootout over there in LA. Even though they lost, I know they feel good about their offense and how they threw the ball and moved the ball and all of that. I know their defense is going to come in and try to prove that and try to, say that we the best defense. We better than the Lions defense. I think they're going to come in and try to, say that. They get guys back. I just seen Matt Milano was out there last week. I think that was his first game back from last year. Von Miller is playing a little better. They just signed Micah Hyde again, and he's a Buffalo guy through in through out. So I feel like they're trying to get in this rhythm, but I feel like this is a big game. Obviously, some people probably got Jared Goff as the MVP candidate, as well as Josh Allen for sure. So it's gonna be the clash of them. You feel me? Like, this is one of those games. Remember last year, it was around like week 15, week 16, and Lamar and the Ravens had went out there to San Francisco
Mm-hmm.
and played. This was around the same time. Like, we were saying, oh, who's gonna be the MVP? Who's gonna be the MVP? Who's gonna be the MVP? And this week last year, I feel like this is the week that Lamar put it down. Like, he went into San Francisco against a highly talented San Francisco team, well coached, offense, defense rocking, special teams rocking, and you going in there and playing with. I think it was a night game, whatever it was, and you playing against that team that's been to the Super Bowl a few times the last few years, and he went in there and dominated them. I think they beat him by like 20 points. They beat him bad, and Lamar had a day, and the defense had a day. I think Josh Allen kind of got that on his mind a little bit. I think he wants to win MVP. I think he wants to take all of it this year, and he's up there. So what better way to do it to go into Detroit with this super hot team? I don't even know the spread. -1.5. So they got Detroit winning, but they usually get a home team 3 points.
Right.
Game. Like I said, I'm feeling good about themselves, feeling great. And we in for one. I think we in for one of those games that is gonna come down to the fourth quarter. It's gonna come down to execution. It's gonna come down to who turned the ball over the least. It's gonna come down to X factor making plays. And I think this is a game that's gonna be like, what defense? Who plays the best defense? That's what I think. Who is able to get stops, play the best defense, and get off the field? Because there's going to be some fourth downs in this game, and the Lions are going to go for it.
Absolutely.
Let's just say it's 3 fourth downs in this game, and the Lions go for all 3, and they don't make all 3 of them. That can kind of change the identity of how you feel about going for it moving forward. You know how it is in this game. It only take one quarter, one play, one game to change for shit to start changing. Look at the Eagles. See, the Eagles been riding high, and then they come into this week, and now it's supposedly something going on in the locker room between the players. That's just how it be. It just happens that quick. 10-game winning streak, and now there's still something going on. That's just how it be. So I think this is going to be a good game. Two high-powered offenses, two really good coaches. I would say they're top coaches in the NFL right now, both of them. Great coaching staffs, two great programs. Like they kind of like two hard-nosed, gritty, brick city type organizations. So I think it's going to be a really good game. I'm excited to see it.
I'm right with you. Definitely. Quarterback play is going to be huge for both these ball clubs. I'm excited to see how that shakes out. They do play at 325. I'm assuming that's going to be game of the week. So be tuned into that. Michigan State football obviously has came to an end. Michigan State basketball is rolling. I don't know if you've seen any games, but that's where we're going to go ahead and turn our focus to. This past Saturday, they went ahead and beat Nebraska 89-52. Did you watch any of that game or see any highlights? I turned it on like the first quarter. I'm like, ooh, wee.
I watched a little bit of it. I had seen it all. I watched the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean when I turned on the second half, they were blowing them out, so I turned it off. But I watched a little bit of the first half. The guard player is pretty good. I don't know their names like that, but the guard, I guess I learned names going on. But the guard play, we got some guards that can actually break down some things and handle some things. So that's always good to see. It's always good to see an Izzo team with good guard play. I can't with Applin and Kalen Lucas and damn, what's his name? What's his name?
Cassius.
Yeah,
no,
Cassius Winston.
Well, I'm trying to think of your year though, of like who is there.
No, my year was Kalen Lucas, Valentine, Keith Applin, Summers. We had some guys. We had some guys like that. We had some guys.
Right.
But when I first got there, it was Kalen Lucas though. So we always had like this Corey Lucius.
Yeah.
We always had these good guard play, and that's when Michigan State got like guards, or at least one good guard or two good guards that can really break down the defense and pass and score. That's when they at their best. So we're gonna see they rank now. They haven't been ranked since last year. That's what they said. Since it was like 385 plus days, over a year since they've been ranked. So that's pretty good. And I seen somebody say Michigan State got the best guard in the league in college basketball. I think it was like a freshman. Richardson, somebody named Richardson.
Yeah, so that's Richardson that played in the league. That's his younger son.
Jason Richardson?
Yeah.
Bro, he played 15 minutes and came and has off the bench 16 points.
He's nice. He's super nice. I was watching the Maui Invitational, and he has no fear. Like it's like he's out there hooping. He don't care who's around him. He gets to his spots, and he's not afraid to go ahead and feel his presence on the court. And that's what I love. And don't have him go ahead and grow, which he will in Michigan State. If y'all don't know his daddy had bounce.
Crazy bounce.
Crazy. So if he starts jumping like that out the gym at Michigan State, which will happen, watch out. That's all I got to say. But they're playing good, though. I like what I'm seeing. I've watched a handful of games and definitely going to, obviously talk about them. But let me get some names up here. Fears Jr., guy that had one ahead. I think he got I don't want to get it wrong, but I think he got shot last year. That's why he didn't play, or he got or some type of crazy thing that happened that was like, holy shit, that's what happened, right? I think.
Yeah.
So he's came back, obviously, from that. Thank God he's still here and be able to go ahead and play the game, because that shit is scary. I saw the highlight where he had went ahead and he was on his bottom and threw it to the hoop, and our high flyer who we got on this, I think, Carr, went up and yammed it. First off, that was crazy, but Carr be throwing that ball down with a purpose when he be dunking. So that was one highlight that was crazy. But, I mean, we got Xavier Booker, who was a guy that kind of was a late bloomer last year in the tournament, tall, forward. He's about like 6'11", maybe 6'10", being able to go ahead and shoot and dribble the ball. Our bigs are playing very well. Jaden Akers, this is a huge year for him. He had 18 this past weekend. One of our guys that we can go to when we need a bucket. He does what he needs to do. We've already talked about Richardson, him being a young freshman coming off the bench, which is crazy that he dropped 16. is going to be an exciting year. I feel that we got a very good team. Like just looking at all of these stats here, I mean, we got 3 guys over double digits. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys flirting with double digits, but contributing in other ways. When Tom Izzo has a club like that, we've seen it for years for our eyes. We got ourselves a ball team, so I'm excited to see what goes on. They are third in the Big Ten right now, 6-2. They go ahead and face Oakland today, or will they face them? On Tuesday, which I'm assuming they'll go ahead and win that one. So I'm already call it dub there. And then they got Florida Atlantic on Saturday, which I'm assuming will be a win as well. Both those are in East Lansing, so that should be fun to watch. Yeah, we're going to definitely tap into that. The next, Pistons. They went ahead and faced the New York Knicks this past Saturday. They won that one 120 to 111. That was a huge game by Cade Cunningham. I actually watched that game. I'm like, oh my God, we finally seeing what this team can be when he's on the floor. Talk to me a little about this, about your Detroit Pistons and what you saw from this game this past Saturday. Even though they're 11th right now in the Eastern Conference, I feel there's some hope. I feel like there's definitely guys that can go in and step up and they can go ahead and creep to get into a playing game, possibly even the playoffs. So talk to me about it.
No, I would, like I always say, man, I would love to see him get in the playoff games in Detroit. Like I remember growing up, when they was playing with Chauncey and Tayshaun and Rip Hamilton and Rasheed and Max Seal and Ben Wallace and Lindsey Hunter and Corliss Williams. Yeah, I got the names, Roddy Stuckey, all the boys, man. Boys is like that's when like basketball was like dope for the city, and it's getting there. Like I feel like K is showing what he can, doing what he doing. 29, 10, and 15. That's big time right there. 15 assists
That's crazy.
for the Pistons. That's big time right there. Like I know he's using the ball. He probably got the ball in his hand all day on some damn James Harden, but he ain't, he cooking for everybody else, but he's also getting buckets. He dropped 29, 5 for 8 from the three point, a plus 16 from the plus minus. Like that's just showing he's playing productive on both sides of the court. He's the leader on that team. I've seen him step in people's face and like tell them like, hey, this is what it is. Like this is where I need you at. And when I see players do that, it shows me that they're ready, because most people are not confronting somebody if they not handling their own shit. So when you in that mode, when you come and say, hey, I need you right here, do this right here, and you tell them, hey, I need you to be, that means you really doing your job. You feel me? Like you really doing your job to the point where like they can hear you. And that's what I see him doing. He's obviously, when he was out, they don't have a point guard. They don't have a backup point guard that can get these guys the ball. You got Beasley making 7 threes in a game. Hardaway, like guys are scoring. Ivy is getting his points. So they're playing well, man. Like they playing well. Like you said, they 10th right now, but going into New York and winning that game, that's a big game, because the Knicks got guys. They got a lot of guys on that team. Brunson. I mean, y'all know the guys they got on that team. They kind of a loaded team a little bit in the East. So to go in there into their arena and get that W versus that team versus Tom Thibodeau, that gives you confidence. Like that gives you focus going into the next few games. That gives you focus when you're on a road trip and you're like, man, we got to lock in. We can win. We can beat these teams when we locked in. So that just get them hope, man. So shout out to the Pistons, man. Keep it going. Shout out to K, man. You're going to be an all-star this year. Stay healthy, man. Stay healthy. Take care of your body, man. And shit, just keep playing free. Keep doing your thing. Obviously, we see triple-double, triple-double, triple-double. I think he top 2 in the league right now in triple-doubles. Bro, that's big time. And he ain't fast. Like he don't seem like he's like super more athletic than everybody else. Like he's a tall guy though. I think he's like 6'8".
He might be flirting with 6'9", to be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, that's huge for a guard that had a ball in his hand all the time. Like, even though he dropping 29, 10, and 15, there's more levels to his game. Like, wait till he start putting people in the post. Wait till he start, you feel me? Wait till he really find his spots and start really getting to those spots all the time. So I see a lot of bright spots with the Pistons from what I'm seeing. I think they need to go out and try to trade some guys and get another guy. They need to go and get another guy. There's some teams that's trying to get some other guys. I think they need to go and get them a guy to put next to shit. Embiid trying to go somewhere. Hey, Embiid, Cade and Embiid.
Hey,
I like it, man. I think that'll be cool. That'd be somewhere where he can. The city embrace him. You gotta play basketball though. You gotta play. You gotta play, my brother.
that's the only thing, man. Like can we get you for at least 40 games towards the end of the season? Yeah, no, I'm with you though. They just need one more piece to complement Kate Cunningham. I think they can definitely find someone for sure this year. I don't know who, but they definitely got the pieces right now. I love what I'm seeing from Cade. I love Cade's game. Like I actually sat and watched the whole Knicks game.
Mm-hmm.
He just knows spots. He knows basketball. He knows when to do what he needs to do at that particular time. And I like guys that play basketball like that. He's like, okay, I know that I can go ahead and get going. Everyone's going to touch the ball, but it's time to go ahead. And that's what I saw. That's what I loved. When he needed to go ahead and assert himself scoring, he did. Say, for instance, if they went ahead, Knicks went on a run, or they were going on a run, he inserted himself at key times. Pistons, man, they're doing what they need to do. They got a big one this week against the Celtics. That's another one where you go ahead. All right, we don't want to head and beat the Knicks away. Go ahead. I don't know if this game is away as well. It looked like it is. But hey, you go ahead and play against them, beat them. Then you got the Heat the next week. So you got to go ahead. You got one game this week. Go ahead and lay it all on the line. Play hard.
I think this the week of the in season tournament thing.
Okay.
They about to start.
Yeah.
This is the week where they play the game, and they play another game in Vegas. This is the week for that. So that's why they got a week off, everybody, because they playing the in-season tournament game.
So, I mean, that should just give you no rhyme or reason to go ahead and come out and lay it all on the line this Thursday against the Celtics, because I'm assuming they're going to be in it, so they're really probably not going to play their guys, or depending how the Celtics play, but it doesn't matter. I think realistically, if you take both these wins or get this one and have 2 wins against a primary team that you definitely can go ahead and see in the playoffs or to play in or whatever you go ahead and land seed-wise, you definitely going to see these teams for sure. Go ahead and get you this one, and then, you worry about next week. But shout out to the Pistons. They're doing their thing. I liked what I saw this past Saturday. Moving on from obviously talking about the good old state of Michigan. Now we're moving on to the Speak On It podcast. Speak On It podcast. Jeez. We need to have your Speak On It podcast. Please. We need you back in office. Talking shit. Appreciate that you're on here and we can use the good old Speak On It. So the Speak On It segment, we're going to go ahead and talk about the college football Heismans. As of right now, we have all seen who has been nominated. Travis Hunter, Cameron Ward, Dylan Gabriel, and the Boise running back. What's his name again?
Genty.
So looking at it right now, this is based off of Fox odds. They got Travis Hunter at minus 2,500. They have Genty at plus 900, and then they got the other two, Ward and Gabriel. They're plus $1 million, basically, is what I'm looking at. I don't know how accurate this is, but talk to me about who you think is going to win. I know who you want to win, but talk to me on the real reasons of why this individual should win.
Obviously, I got Travis Hunter winning the Heisman. I also only think there should be three invitees. I don't think it should be 4. I think it should only be 3. That's it. Only one person can win. Narrow it down to 3, and 4 got to go. But you know how it is. It's all business, publicity, all that good stuff. I take nothing against Genty or nothing against Dylan Gabriel or Cam Ward, but I'm about to this is what I gotta say. I'm not giving it to Dylan Gabriel at all because no, good quarterback, number 1 team, do your thing. You nice, but you're not a Heisman. Cam Ward he done some amazing things this year for sure. The way he can spin the ball, the way he can roll out to the left, roll out to the right, and throw that ball and create plays with his legs, that is dynamic, and that is definitely going to be used at the next level. Now, it really comes down to Genty and Travis Hunter. Let me get to Genty. We've seen a lot of running backs run for 2,000 yards, over 2,000 yards. I was watching the Nightcap podcast, Shannon Sharp and Chad. And Chad got the naming a lot of running backs that rushed for over 2,000 yards. And all of the running backs he was naming, it was Derrick Henry, Mark Ingram, Reggie Bush. Oh, no, not Reggie Bush. It was just Barry Sanders. It was
Legend.
just it was just a lot of names. Christian McCaffrey. It was so many names that he was naming. Melvin Gordon. And I was like, bro.
Jonathan Taylor, like a whole bunch of them come. Like,
Yes, a lot of them come. And I was like, Genty name don't even belong in the same sentence as none of them running backs. Name I just named. He just named. He named a lot of running backs, and I was like, bro, Genty he ain't close to none of them running backs on no level. Like, I watched Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram was a fucking beast in college. He did his thing in the league too, don't get me wrong. But what he did at Alabama at that running back spot, that shit was legendary. What Melvin Gordon did, we watched it. Legendary. Just a lot of guys doing their thing, and it's just the way they did it, like creating plays for themselves. When I watch Genty break runs, it's like, bro, there's nobody around. Like it's just not special. I don't see special when I see him. I see a really good football player. I see a really good running back, but I don't see special. Like, I don't think he will be doing that in the Big Ten because there's better players. You feel like there's better players, there's better guys around. I don't think he'll be doing that. Maybe he'll rush for 1,400 yards, which is pretty good. But he wouldn't be having games where he's rushing for 200, 300 yards in this because he ain't super fast. He ain't super shifty. He ain't super dynamic. He's like a workhorse. He need a lot of touches to get his yards. He had 32 carries the other day and had 200 rushing yards. But I watched the running back from Arizona State, and I watched him, and he only had like 19 carries, and he rushed for more yards that game. And he rushed for a lot of yards this year, too. It made me go back and look at him. I'm like, oh, he was, you feel me? Like, he got something to him. But when I watch Genty, it's just like he just running past everybody because they ain't even, you feel me? Like, and I just don't think it's that impressive just handing the ball off to a running back and letting them do what they do. That's just me. I think it's dope. But I feel like it's better when you have to go and get the ball, and then you make something happen with it. And that's why I go over to Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter literally have to go and get the ball. He have to get open first. And even if he ain't open, you still probably going to throw it to him or you going to throw at him. He has to go up and catch the ball. And then he got to make people miss and score. Travis Hunter is just dynamic, bro. He's the best wide receiver in college football this year. The best. If he was just a wide receiver, he would have been he's in the Biletnikoff. He's one of the Biletnikoff guys, and he's probably going to win that because that Arizona receiver may be a better draft pick than him because he only played wide receiver, but he didn't have a better year than him this year. I think I ain't going to say that. Yeah, I ain't going to say that. And even on defense, that he was the best DB. He was the best DB this year. He was the only, he's not the only DB. He's the best corner by far. They know that. The Thorpe messed up. They messed that up. They already know they messed that up. Because how you be nominated as the best defensive player of the year, where there's only 3 people announced for that, and you're one of the top 3 best defensive players, and you play corner, but you're not a recipient for the Thorpe. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. And they know that makes no sense. But they ain't, you know how they be. They ain't want to give him all the awards. They ain't want to nominate him. But why not? He's that type of player. So I got him winning. Like I said, he's the best. He's going to be the first All-American on offense and on defense in the same year. That has never happened. And it might not never happen again. Like, people thinking this is probably going to happen. Like, I've seen guys play both ways. Yeah, high school is cool, college is all that. Being an All-American as a wide receiver is dope. Being an All-American as a DB is dope. But doing both of those in the same year, that's the most outstanding, most valuable player in college football. Period. So that's why I feel like Travis Hunter should win the Heisman. He's literally been the best player all year. People know it. They know it. Put him on Oregon. Put him on any team. Put him on any team, and he's going to be doing the same thing, if not more. If not more. And they know that. They know it. They know it. They just trying to just hold out on, oh, you know, Genty is... Man, shout out to Genty, though. He had a great year, bro.
Like, what a wonderful year. Wonderful year.
You're doing your thing, man. We seen that before. I just feel like we seen running backs run for a lot of yards before. We seen it before. We gonna see it again. We might not see this again. And it ain't little numbers. He led the league. He led college football, not college football. What is it, the Big 12? He led them in interceptions, PBUs, receptions, yards, and I think touchdowns. And I'm sure he top 5 in all of that in college. In college, period, like all conferences included. That sounds like the Heisman to me. That's just me though. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I don't.
So, I mean, I wouldn't have you on this show for no reason because we have the same mindset. Because just hand the trophy to him, give him his flowers. I think we know why he didn't get in the the Jim Thorpe. Who do we know that won the Jim Thorpe? That has some situations to go ahead and say about the Sanders family. But anyways, that's between me and him. Obviously, don't know. Yeah, give him his flowers, man. He's the best player in today's college football. He's going to be a top pick in the NFL. He can go on any team in college football and be the number one wherever he goes. All these other guys, the quarterback position, quarterbacks are quarterbacks. They're both very talented, but if you put Genty in the SEC, he's not rushing for what he did this year. You put him in the Big Ten, he's not rushing for what he did this year. And I would take the guy from Arizona over him, to be honest, if you want me to keep it a buck here. Because what I saw with my eyes, he was making it happen. And it wasn't just him getting the ball and going straight like Genty does. He was making guys miss. He was making tackles. He was doing what needs to be done. But we don't need to go on a long spiel about this. You already had went over it. Travis Hunter definitely going to win the Heisman. And that's just what it is. Yes, it's this weekend. So I'm definitely going to be tuned in. I might place a bet on that. Who knows? Moving on, the college football playoff bracket has finally been set. The bye teams here is what I'm looking at. We have, let's see, Oregon obviously has got a number 1 seed. Georgia's got a number 2. Boise State's got a number 3. And Arizona State has a number 4. Those 4 schools that I just mentioned have a bye. And then Arizona State plays the winner of Clemson, Texas. Oregon plays the winner of Tennessee, Ohio State. Boise State will play the winner of SMU and Penn State. And then Georgia will go ahead and face Indiana or Notre Dame. These, now just looking at it, because I don't really care because I feel like I know who's going to, possibly be in the championship. This Indiana-Notre Dame game, I'm probably not going to watch. This SMU Penn State game, I'm not going to watch. The only probably playing game that I might even just consider might be Texas Clemson, but does this look a little weird to you with these teams, especially like Penn State, Indiana, Notre Dame, Tennessee, Ohio State? I'm not seeing Alabama on here. I'm not seeing any of the, teams like that you're like, I don't know if they can go ahead and face these teams. We'll see. That's why there's a 12-man playoff. But talk to me a little bit when you see this, just how this seeding is, because this is, to me, I don't know.
Hold up. So you think Bama should have made it?
Yes.
Why?
Because we all know that Indiana and Notre Dame would not beat Alabama. We know that Penn State and SMU would not beat Alabama. We know I think they might have lost to Tennessee. I'm assuming did Alabama. I don't know the record or anything. But I know Ohio State's not beating Alabama. Ohio State, we all know how Ohio State is. They look good all the way until they play Michigan. They lose against Michigan. Then they go into a bowl game. I don't know the record in a bowl game, nor do I care. But that team right there, it is what it is. I don't think that they would beat Alabama. SMU, no way in God's greatest, jeez. There's no way they're going to beat Alabama. Penn State, no way. Indiana, no way. Notre Dame, no way. Yes, Alabama should be in this. Yes. Because number one, it's going to be good football. You trying to tell me you're going to sit there and watch Indiana, Notre Dame?
Mm-hmm.
You going to watch SMU, Penn State?
Mm-hmm.
You going to watch Tennessee, Ohio State?
Yeah.
So you basically going to watch all these games?
I'm going to watch all 4 of them.
And you think Penn State, you think Alabama couldn't beat either of these teams?
I watched Alabama lose games this year.
That's true.
I watched Alabama not be the Alabama that y'all know of. I think Alabama fell off a few years ago. They fell off a few years ago. And people want to keep holding this Alabama thing. But I remember Georgia kept beating Alabama them years in a row in the championship. They beat them a couple times. And then you can just kind of see like the Alabama shit kind of just died down. You watched Alabama last year go to the college football playoff when people thought they shouldn't have been in there. People thought that the team that didn't lose no games should have been in there, and I was Florida State. But they put Bama in there because of this same thing. People want to put Bama in there now. What did Bama do last year when they went to the college football playoff? I'm gonna tell you, they got by Michigan, and they did. It wasn't no game where it was close. I don't even remember what the score was, but they got their ass whooped, and it's been like that for a while now. It's been like that for the last few years because they don't have 5 stars sitting behind 5 stars no more. So is Alabama still Alabama? I know we love to talk about the name and what they've done in the past, but that's because they have 5 stars sitting behind 5 stars. But this is a new era of college football now. You don't have that no more. Nobody's banging on the door to go to Alabama like that. People are going to schools anywhere. We just seen this basketball dude, the number 1 recruit basketball dude, just go to BYU. He just went to BYU. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this is the era that we in. So They don't have a lot of... I watched Bama this year, bro. I watched them versus Oklahoma. They scored 3 points. They got beat 24-3 by a team that was 5-5. They lost to Vanderbilt. They lost to Tennessee. They ain't lost to Vanderbilt in, I think, over like 20-some years.
Might even be longer than that.
That's what I'm saying. I know it was over 20. They ain't lost to Vanderbilt in over 20 years. They lost to Tennessee. These are games you don't expect them to be losing like that. Why they losing? Because they ain't the Bama that we know them they used to be. It ain't that no more. Bro, it's 12 spots, bro. It's 12 now. And they said, we ain't putting y'all in because y'all lost 3 games. I think they got it right. I think they shouldn't have went. And I see all this Bama, all these people crying, boy. They crying, boy. They crying on social media all day. And it's just like, bro, you talking about, man, well, what's the point of scheduling hard non-conference games, bro? Alabama played Mercy College in November. SEC is so tough, but the SEC is top heavy. There's a couple, all them other teams, they ain't like that. They ain't never won. When the last time we seen a team other than them win the SEC championship? Obviously, you got your LSU to come in there from time to time. They always sprinkle a good team in there, but they ain't consistent either.
True. And Texas is in that obviously conference too, so it's really going to be just...
Texas just got there. When last time we seen South Carolina play a meaningful game? When have we ever seen South Carolina play in the SEC championship? I've never seen it in my time of watching. Tennessee, Vanderbilt, Auburn, besides Cam Newton, they went right back to what they was after that. Any of them. So they crying about the schedule and how the SEC is so tough. And would any of these teams win in this conference? That ain't what it is no more. You in the conference that you in. If you just win your games, you win. If they don't lose to Oklahoma 2 weeks with 2 weeks left in the season and get beat 24-3. If they just win that game, they get in the playoffs. So they hurt themselves. It ain't about nobody else. They hurt themselves. And we always gave them the benefit of the doubt. They did it last year. They gave them the benefit of the doubt last year by putting them into the college football playoff. And they went to the Rose Bowl and got their ass beat. And they looked bad while they was doing it. They looked uncoached. They looked like they wasn't ready. All of that. So, and you think they look ready this year? I watched Alabama this year. They ain't look like that. Even the games they was winning, they ain't look. They look like they got some 3 stars and some 4 stars, some other guys out there. Nah, they look like a team like everybody else. So, like I said, it's 12 teams. It was 12 spots. You had basically 12 shots to get in there. They didn't put y'all in there for a reason. So no, I don't feel like Alabama should be in there. I don't think they got it wrong either. I mean, I like SMU. I mean, they played a good game versus Clemson. We've seen Clemson win championships before. That was a good game. Like, they got all the way down there to to end up almost tying the game, and whatever happened at the end of that game. But I watched that game, and they was losing by a little bit in that game, and they actually came back.
Yeah, they were down the whole second half.
That's what I'm saying. So it's
first half, not second half.
Yeah. So I want to see these like college basketball. You see a George Mason team beat a Connecticut. You feel me? You
Right.
see the what was it? The St. Louis team fuck around and beat North Carolina. I don't know if they beat them, but I'm just saying. I remember George Mason was
You're
clicking.
right. Yep.
It was just clicking, and we always see these teams clicking because it's any given Sunday, any given day. So this is what this is right now. So yeah, I can see Indiana beat Notre Dame. Notre Dame ain't like that. I can see SMU beating Penn State. When the last big game Penn State?
Hey, you know what's crazy? They might get blown out.
Who knows if they want to play right now? They just lost in the Big Ten championship. They probably feeling a little down. Who knows if they really want to play? You feel me?
Right.
Clemson versus versus Texas. I think that's gonna be a good game. Dabo, he might try to upset some people. You know, Quinn Ewers coming in. They just lost a game. Is he gonna start? What's the vibe like over there? And then you got Tennessee versus Ohio State. I think that's gonna be a good game. Tennessee has some big wins this year. Their quarterback had started off this season strong, and he kind of died out a little bit, but obviously he finished strong. They made the playoffs. Tennis, we get to see these teams on the big stage now to see if they can perform. So I like that the college football has given a different way. It's like a different vibe. And we see right now, I've seen a lot of guys from Alabama entering the portal. A lot of guys. A lot of weapons, a lot of 4 stars and 5 stars, they enter the portal. So I don't think Alabama is going to be like that any longer anyway. I've been saying this about Alabama. So, and you know, shit, the Patriots fell off. There's a reason why Nick Saban left. And I don't think it just got everything to do with NIL and players wanting to get money. It's a reason. Because he can still coach right now. You don't think so?
Oh no, he can coach in a heartbeat right now.
Exactly. I think they got it right. I want to see some of these. I think we're gonna see some shockers, and that'll really be good because it's just people just feel like, oh, I just know what's gonna happen. I don't know who gonna win the national championship this year. I don't think none of these teams is like guaranteed to win. None of them, because you never know. It's big game after big game. It's gonna be big game after big game, and you're playing more games, more. Like, you ain't got a month off in between one game and then you got the bowl game. No, motherfucker, it's different now. You got to play big game after big game. And we probably going to see some matchups we ain't never seen before. Like, I don't ever remember seeing Tennessee versus Ohio State.
Never.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just going to be different. It's going to be different. It's going to be a different vibe. And I'm okay with that. Alabama, if y'all wanted to be in, then y'all should have won more games. Of course they would have put y'all in. They already talking about putting y'all in now. Y'all 9-3. If you 10-2, y'all in. If you 11-1, y'all in. Y'all win y'all division, y'all in for sure. Just like y'all did last year. They won the SEC championship, and then they jumped over a team that didn't lose a game. So if you take care of what's on your plate, you'll be good. But Alabama didn't take care of what was on their plate. So don't be looking at everybody else's plate. Don't be crying, oh man, what's the point of playing tough non-conference games? I thought y'all was the best conference in the college football. What tough non-conference game that y'all gonna have if y'all are the best conference in the strength of schedule should come in and mean something? Nope. Cry in the car.
Cry in the car. Man, no, it should be fun to watch. I'm looking at the schedule right here, or my calendar. Next week, 20 and the 21st is when that starts. We'll definitely be covering that and talking that before, giving you picks and all that good stuff. Moving on to the NFL, you had touched on it earlier in the beginning of the podcast. The Eagles, man, first in their division in the NFC East, but we're still hearing things that guys aren't happy. We're not getting the ball. I'm not getting the ball. The locker room, the players. Talk to me about that whole situation. And from an Eagles standpoint, say I was a fan, how does this look right now? Do you need to be worried?
Yeah, I think you need to be worried for sure. I looked at this. I went and looked up some numbers. Ever since the bye week, they had a bye week in week 5. They 9-0 since then. They've had an average of 20 pass attempts a game. 20. This past game, 14 for 21, 108 yards. This is Jalen Hurts versus the Eagles, 11 for 19. Versus the Ravens, 11 for 19, 118 yards. Versus the Rams, 15 for 22, 179 yards. Versus the Commanders, 18 for 28, 221 yards. I think that's the most attempts probably all season. Versus the Cowboys, 14 for 20, 200 yards. Versus the Jaguars, 18 for 24. Versus the Bengals, 16 for 20. Versus the Giants, 10 for 14. You got a top 5 receiver on your team. And then you got another one that's over there that damn near is very, very, very legit as well. Devontae Smith just got paid $25 million a year. You got 2 receivers on your team making $25 million plus. You got Goddard. That's a really good weapon. Why are they not passing the ball like that? I understand. I understand Saquon is doing his thing, but why aren't they passing the ball? I'm sure they're calling more than 20 pass plays a game. I'm sure they're calling more than 14 pass plays a game. Why isn't Jalen Hurts trusting his arm? Is there something there? Remember, he had them shoulder injuries a couple times, and sometimes when you have them shoulder injuries, your arm kind of go away. Is this something we missing? It may be something we missing. Do Jalen Hurts not trust his arm? Not trust what he's seeing? I don't think it's the offense because I don't know, because they the number 1 running team in the league, or number 2, them and the Ravens. But they're the 31st. They have the 31st passing offense in the league. They average, I think it said like 170 some yards passing a game. They're 31st with 2 damn near all pro wide receivers on your team.
And an offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore, who came from Dallas, who had Dak, who was throwing the ball all over the place. Something's not adding up here. Something's not adding up.
What's going on? I remember talking before the season. I was like, bro, if I'm any quarterback, I would love to be in this position with the Eagles. You have crazy weapons on this team. Like, they're the most loaded offense. Bro, every position on offense is loaded for them. Everyone. They have guys that can make plays, and their offense line is the top 3 offense line in the NFL. What is going on in Philly? Is Jalen Hurts regressing? Will he be the reason they don't win this year? It's just a lot of questions. We're going to see, man. We're going to see. Obviously, they had some ruckus in the media this week. And I think that was A.J. Brown letting the people know, like, hey, I'm chilling right now. He said, oh, what's the problem with passing? I ain't about to go crazy, but I'm chilling right now. And if this shit don't get fixed, he's gonna leave, because you're not gonna win it. You're not gonna win just handing the ball off to Saquon. You have to bro. If it's 1-on-1, A.J. Brown should be getting the ball thrown his way. I seen A.J. Brown run like a deep corner in the first quarter of the game. Bro, he was wide open. And Jalen Hurts was back there in a clean pocket. And he's looking that way. And he's seeing this corner sitting down. He about 15 yards deep, the corner, but they high-load him with a little corner and a big corner. And he jumped the little corner, and the safety was inside of A.J. Brown. He should have let that ball ride out. But he didn't. And it's like, why? You don't think you can make that throw? Questions that need answers, man.
I truly believe, and I think since he's entered the league, and Jalen Hurts had a wonderful game when he was in the Super Bowl, came up short, all the great stuff. He's never been a passer, in my opinion. He's never been a guy where if Saquon gets exited out of the game and you have to rely on him to throw the football, you're not winning a game. I'm not giving a 0.5% of, you got a 75% chance or 80. You're not winning the game. So that's a very big problem.
One thing he did well, though, was throw the ball up. Like, we know him for throwing the ball up, giving A.J. Brown a chance, giving Devontae Smith a chance. We know him to throw. If he gonna run the ball or something like that, he's gonna take shots on the outside. But he ain't doing that no more, and that's a problem.
That's a big problem. Like so you're telling me that you can, because he did throw a great ball in the touchdown to Smith on like a corner, come back to the pylon. That was a good pass, but that was 15 yards, if that. So are you trying to tell me that you don't got the strength no more to throw 70 yards, throw 50 yards? You played the Carolina Panthers now. Let's not get this out of context as well. You just played exactly. You just played the Carolina Panthers at the crib and really should have lost that game, like you said. But that should have never been a game if you're not making the throw that you just said. The reads, hey, is Saquon Barkley too much now that you guys got to go ahead and just feed him, which is cool. But wait till you face a team that exit that out. I don't believe in Jalen Hurts at all for you to go ahead and have over 30 attempts in him to dissect the defense. I don't see that at all. I don't see that one bit happening because he's not that type of quarterback. He's not a guy that's a pocket passer. Never been. Never been in his whole career.
And he don't have to, though, because they went to the Super Bowl without doing that. But you have to do what you do, and that's take shots. You do that. He throws the ball deep. He gives his wide receiver chances, but they only throwing for 20 pass attempts a game. That ain't enough. That ain't enough. Especially when I'm looking over here and I'm watching Jamar Chase 18 targets a game. And you only him by himself alone getting 15 to 18 targets a game. And I'm sitting over here as a top 5 receiver, and I'm only getting 5 targets a game. I think he was like 44th. AJ Brown, I seen a stat that he was 44th in the league in pass attempts a game. 5 on average this whole year. So he's only getting 5 attempts? Nah, he didn't. And they say in this past game, he didn't get a pass attempt to him until the end of the first quarter. End of the second quarter. So you telling me I'm out here running these routes for what? What I'm out here running these routes and getting open for? If every time I turn around and I'm running out of my shit and I break and I turn around and you running around, I'm mad. I'm a little irritated. And I'm about to be ready to get up out of here. I ain't playing with you.
Don't worry about it. He gonna be up out of there, bro. And you know where he gonna go? He gonna go to the Raiders and team up with Shedeur Sanders, and the Raiders are about to be serious because they got chicken. They got chicken down there. They got Tom Brady who gonna build. All right, put yourself in his shoes and just okay, cool. Appreciate you with the time being here. I'm going down to Vegas because I know that they got a young cat that they got in Shedeur who they're going to draft. I will die on the hill until the draft day comes in Green Bay that I'm going to see Shedeur Sanders going to the Las Vegas Raiders. I will put rent money on that hitting. It's already in stone. If he were to whole bunch of guys this offseason, you don't think these guys that are wanting to leave free agents are looking at that situation?
I know they is.
They like, okay, well, maybe I don't have a wife and kids. Maybe I do, but I'm getting good weather. I'm close to California. I'm close to Arizona. I'm on the West Coast. It's going to be building. I think they're going to have a basketball team there as well. Shit's happening. Things are in motion. No state taxes. You ain't think guys are going to go down there and just start building and having a crib and living? All right. And watch all these guys that are, don't go ahead and go to the Super Bowl. Go ahead and take their ass right to the Raiders because the Raiders got bread.
Yeah.
But we shall see, man. It's going to be interesting. And last but not least here, good God, what is going on with the MLB here? Soto signing a contract, hear me people, 15 years, $765 million. Let me tell you this again. 15 years, $765 million. Is baseball now European soccer? What, as you said, where's this money coming from? $65 million. I almost fell out my chair when I saw it on Twitter. I'm like, I know this man ain't just go ahead and get this much, bro. Like literally had me in a position like this. Both my hands on top of my head. I'm like, what's going on? You don't even know baseball and you know that's crazy.
I know that's crazy because I know it's a lot of people like me. Like we don't even watch that shit. We don't even watch baseball, bro. Like it ain't even that important. Like it's not even that important, bro. Like baseball is, bro. I don't know. I just don't think baseball is that sweet. Like it ain't that sweet. So it's like where y'all getting this shit from? Nah. One player, 15 years, So you telling me somebody about to end a couple years, somebody gonna sign like a 15-year deal for $1 billion? That's what you're telling me. Because I remember, I think it was Pujols. I remember back when we was in college, he signed like a big deal, and that was like one of the biggest deals. And I think he signed like a 10-year, like $300 million contract, and that was a big deal then. So now you turn like, what's the dude from the Yankees?
Aaron Judge.
What did he sign? Did he sign?
Yeah, he signed for something crazy, but not
It was.
nowhere near.
I about to say, wasn't that though? Was it?
No, I'm about to
So
see
this is
right
sort of
now.
like who? Like, is he like the Steph Curry of that shit? Like, what is he doing? That's like,
And you know what's crazy, my good brother? He ain't even win MVP, bro.
hold up. So he's not even better than Judge?
No, absolutely not. He ain't win no like his Central, or I think it's the let me see, AL or NL. He ain't win no MVP in his division. He's just a good hitter, first baseman, I guess, and basically shit the bed for them to go ahead and win a championship.
So he ain't even the best player in college. In college, he ain't even the best player in MLB, and he just got the biggest contract motherfuckers ever seen.
I don't know if it's the biggest, but it's close enough.
But shout out to him though. I ain't mad at you. Wherever you get your thing, I just want to know where y'all get his money from. Like, I don't even see people be talking about baseball like that for y'all to just have all this. I don't see them talk about. Ain't no show on TV talking about baseball. Ain't no. Bro, I don't even watch the championship, the World Series. I don't even watch that shit. Ain't no shows on TV or any on the internet at all. I know that's talking about baseball. That's insane to me, dog. That's insane to me. But hey, man, shout out to that man. He say I'm getting. I quit tomorrow.
And you know it's even better? He went to the rivalry in New York and went to the Mets.
Hold up. So who did he play for before?
He played for the Yankees. And that's like a very big rivalry.
He played for the Yankees.
Yeah.
I thought he played for another team and then went to the Mets. I mean, of course, no, I didn't know he played for it. So he was on the Yankees last year.
Yep, on the Yankees last year.
Did the Yankees win a championship last year?
No,
Who won the championship?
the Dodgers did.
Was the Mets in the championship?
No, they beat they beat my Brewers, sad, and then they lost to the Dodgers.
Okay, so they wasn't in the championship. So are the Mets good?
Yes, they are good. They are a good ball club.
And he just made them better.
I would say yes, tremendously. You know, I'm not a MLB guru, but he's a
Motherfucker had to make them
Soto.
better.
He's nice. Like he's a very good player. He's a good hitter. He didn't get that money for no reason. It's not just wild. I'm just shocked on how much money they threw at him to come to the Mets.
Yeah.
So like he was in the World Series, he didn't play as well. The Dodgers beat him, but then you know you go ahead and join your rival, which is I think kind of crazy or just a story in itself. Like yeah, no, like I'm about to go ahead and go next door and they're gonna pay me. Like I'm out of here. Y'all suck.
I said I think they offer him $5 million more or something like that. I seen it
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the Yankees offer him a year less or a year more, but $5 million less money, and then they offer him $5 million more, and he went to them. I don't know the difference between 760 and 765. So
I don't know
he
either.
really didn't like them Yankee motherfuckers. He must have said, "Hey, bro, I'm out of here, bro."
Yeah.
I ain't mad at him though, man. I ain't mad at him at all. Like, so, because it got to be only one player on the team making that kind of money.
Well, here's the thing. Who's
Like, he should pick up every tab every time they do anything. I don't give a fuck how much it costs. Bruh, I don't care about, man. Just, come on, bruh. 700 to play baseball, bruh, to play sports, bruh. Come
bro,
on, bruh.
that contract right there of what I'm reading here, it's now he's the most highest paid MLB player right now.
Insane, bruh. All because of this little ass ball and a bat. Just imagine what that league making if they giving him $765 million.
That's my take on it. Like if you're throwing a contract at him like that, that
You up?
I don't believe nobody, bro, that be saying how much they be making because they be making 10 times the amount they be saying, bro. That is crazy. And it's only gonna be more throughout this whole year while we're on this earth. It's crazy as hell.
Man, oh man. Shout out to that guy though, man. That's what's up.
No, it is. But With that, everybody, man, we appreciate you. Hopefully, you're having a great week. My good brother Tony Lippett, aka Lip. We appreciate you, partner. Take us out, man.
Drink y'all some water, man. Hydrate yourselves, man. Take care of yourselves. Weather changes. Drink some tea. That's it, man.
Absolutely. We'll see y'all. Peace out.
Yeah.